within the Cop Watchers documentary, it a gentleman in the documentary talked about how cops have to meet a quota, and when meeting that quota comes pressure, because cops feel pressured that if they don't meet the quota of people that they stop or arrest, then they'll get in trouble. And essentially all ties together, because if you don't meet that quota, then not enough people are arrested. If not enough people are arrested, then the court system is losing money. If the court system loses money, the city is losing money. Then now there's a big trickle effect on how, excuse me, I'm under the weather, on how things are handled. A lot of the times, people feel like us minorities and blacks are targeted because oftentimes even poor people are targeted when it comes to being pulled over or cops having to stop you, due to the fact that police are aware that poor people can't afford legal counseling in order to fight back for something that is done unjustly, and people are basically targeted for that reason. That way the cops know that, hey, there's not a likely chance that I'll get in trouble, or they'll fight back because they don't have the money to, or they don't have the right personnel to do those things. The cops, they really hardly ever, or police, I wouldn't say cops, police, they hardly ever suffer consequence for the wrongdoing or their actions, while we are targeted more often than not. And when I say targeted, we are targeted to be stopped. We are targeted to be questioned. We're targeted to be detained for merely doing nothing, just being who we are, in the skin that we are. That basically just shows the injustice in the system. Another great point that was brought up in connection to Just Mercy and the documentary. Stevenson basically speaks about the justice system, and he basically says that they should pick compassion and kindness over judgment and condemnation. And with that, I believe that he is right, and he has a great point, because there are bad people in the world, but not every black person is a bad person. But I feel like since we are basically ruled by white supremacy, those people not of color do feel like they are better than us. And in the Cop Watchers, they talk about, in Cop Watchers, they talk about how basically people go about their day feeling unsafe and feeling like they're being watched by police in New York City. And the cops are basically going about their day as if they're above the people. So there's no connection with the cops and the police. There's no kindness being shown between the police and the community. Therefore, there's a tension between the two, which leads to oftentimes confrontation, oftentimes the wrongful arrest, the wrongful killings of black people, and the number again continues to rise. So that is all I have for this documentary. And